An ancient Indian text describes a land with no sun that nevertheless shines. The land itself glows. That is a precise description of the Aurora Borealis, visible only above the Arctic Circle during polar winter, caused by charged solar particles interacting with Earth's magnetic field. The text is the Valmiki Ramayana, and the character who described it claimed to have personally traveled to the place and seen it. In previous episodes, we followed Sugriva's geographic instructions east to a trident monument on the coast of Peru, south to a land of perpetual darkness that matches Antarctica. Today we go to the third direction, the north. Because the northern route does not just extend the map, it reveals how precisely the Ramayana understood the physical structure of the planet. Sugriva assigns a leader named Shatabali and provides detailed geographic instructions. The route begins in the plains of northern India and pushes through the Himalayas toward Kailash and Manasarovar. He describes the area in 2 words, avruksham, not many trees. If you have seen photographs of that region, the description is exact. Barren, white, a sacred lake surrounded by treeless mountain terrain. The route continues into what today would be Central Asia. He refers to these lands as Uttarakuru. That name does not appear only in the Ramayana. Ptolemy, the Greek geographer writing 2,000 years ago, knew this same region and recorded it by the same name, Uttarakuru. The area corresponds to modern Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, southern Kazakhstan, and western China. There is a detail in this section that is easy to overlook. Sugriva describes bamboo plantations along a river he calls Shailoda. He names a specific variety, Kichika bamboo, growing on both banks. Modern botanical distribution maps show bamboo growing at exactly that latitude, right at the boundary where the Indian climate zone ends and Central Asia begins. He also describes the region as rich in precious stones, Vaidurya, and other gems. The collision of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates pushed mineral-rich material to the surface across this entire belt, from Afghanistan through Central Asia. The gemstone trade in this region is documented to this day. Small details that turn out to be correct are what separate inherited geographic knowledge from invention. Then Sugriva gives an instruction that changes the entire picture. Nakatanchan gantavyam kurunam uttarenava. Do not go beyond Uttarakuru. He does not say, avoid the Northern Ocean. He draws a specific line at approximately the 40th parallel, and he gives a reason. Anesham api bhutanam na anukramati vaigati. Most creatures will simply not survive there. Today, that instruction makes no sense. Russia and Scandinavia are fully habitable. Millions of people live above the 40th parallel in comfort. But 14,000 years ago, everything above that line was a different world. During and just after the last glacial maximum, continental ice sheets stretched from Siberia across northern Europe, covering all of modern Britain, Scandinavia, and most of Canada. Not scattered mountain glaciers, ice kilometers thick. The subarctic zone just below was barely habitable, a frozen wasteland of permafrost and lethal cold. Sugriva's boundary between safe and lethal corresponds precisely to the edge of the glacial north, as it existed around 12,000 BC. That boundary has not existed at any point since. The warning only makes sense if it comes from a period when ice made the far north genuinely unsurvivable. The geography matches the climate of 14,000 years ago. It does not match any period after. Before reaching that boundary, Sugriva describes what lies in the high Arctic, a land where the sun behaves strangely, where day and night stretch into cycles that defy ordinary experience. Above the Arctic Circle, the sun remains above the horizon for months during summer and below it for months during winter. To observers unfamiliar with axial tilt, this would appear almost supernatural. Sugriva's description of extreme light cycles aligns precisely with polar characteristics, rather than any temperate latitude. But the second description goes further. Sugriva says the land has no sun, and yet it shines. Api tasya basa prakashate. The land itself is luminous without sunlight. Surya lakshma abhividnaya tapata eva vivastata. During the Arctic winter, when the sun does not rise for months, the sky is illuminated by shimmering curtains of green, violet, and red light. To anyone standing in that darkness, the land would indeed appear to glow without a sun. 2 separate polar phenomena, the midnight sun and the Aurora Borealis, described in a single passage of an ancient Indian text. Sugriva also references Mount Meru in the northern direction. In the context of this geographic route, Meru functions not as a physical mountain, but as a precise astronomical description. It is the point on Earth's surface where the celestial pole sits directly overhead, the one place on the planet where the entire sky rotates around you. Every star traces a perfect circle. Nothing rises, nothing sets. The heavens simply turn. Researcher Nilesh Oak, using astronomical software to back-calculate the positions described in the Ramayana, has proposed a date of approximately 12,209 BC, based on the convergence of multiple celestial markers. In that era, the North Star was not Polaris, it was Abhijit, the star we know as Vega. The Ramayana explicitly identifies Abhijit as the pole star, with all other stars rotating around it. At the North Pole, Abhijit would not sit near the horizon, it would sit directly overhead. Every star would circle it without rising or setting. That is exactly what the text describes at Meru. A civilization that tracked precession, the slow 26,000-year rotation of Earth's axis, understood that polar regions are astronomically unique. The geographic knowledge and the astronomical knowledge are not separate traditions. They are the same tradition, viewed from two angles. 3 directions so far. East to Peru, where the Andes rise behind a trident carved into the rock. South to Antarctica, the land of perpetual darkness. And north to a glacial wasteland of strange sunlight, luminous darkness, and lethal cold, bounded by the Arctic Ocean. One direction remains. The west still waits. This is not a symbolic mandala. It is a global model with defined oceans, mountain chains, climatic zones, and precise instructions about where it is safe to travel and where it is not. Each direction ends not with imagination, but with constraint. Each boundary corresponds to a real feature of the Earth as it existed 14,000 years ago. When Rama asked Sugriva how he knew all of this, Sugriva's answer was simple: Pratyaksham upalakshitam. I have personally been there and seen it. Pratyavi mandalam sarvam, the entire round Earth. The descriptions match, the directions match, the climate matches, the boundaries match. Sugriva described the endless sunlight of Arctic summer, the luminous darkness of Arctic winter, the frozen ocean at the end of the world. And then he told his soldiers not to go any further. That is not imagination, that is a map, and it is 14,000 years old.